So let's proceed now and see what is happening when we run a flow. Exactly when we run a flow, what is happening? Let me tell you. First, functional point of view, we are going to understand. Later, we'll see technical point. So now, when I run the flow, exactly what has happened is my transaction got initiated. Functionally, if you speak, you execute the flow, meaning that you start initiating the transaction. So transaction will be started, and you give some data to the transaction. Okay, it can be anything. So submit this. So exactly what happened after you submit? What is happening after you submit? This and all we are going to understand. First, let me go ahead and when I run the flow, transaction is being initiated and a transaction ID is getting created. Transaction ID is getting created. So if you look at the transaction ID for the previous transaction is C-43. This is functional point to give you an idea. So now C-44 is the transaction ID for next transaction. Suppose you go to ATM center, you just make a transaction. You get an ID, let's say XYZ1. You make another transaction. Next transaction ID will be XYZ2. Next transaction ID will be XYZ3. Something like this. So here it is happening like sequentially, but it might not be the same in ATM. Okay, but unique transaction ID. So now here you go and run the flow again. There is another transaction C-45. This is transaction ID. See, this technically we call here to understand with respect to the technology to give you idea. So whenever we run a flow, transaction is getting initiated. That means here case processing is getting initiated. We call it as case processing is getting initiated with an ID created for the that is called case ID. That is called case ID. When we run the flow, case processing is initiated and an ID is getting generated for the that is called case ID. So what has been created in the background is it has created a case. It has created a case. When we run a flow, case processing is initiated, a case is created, case has a unique ID, let's say C-123. See the terms case, if you look at here, case, we have another technical term for this, that is called work object. That is called work object. Case ID, that is called work object ID. So if you look at here in the process tab of the flow, what it says, the selection of this checkbox says creates a new work object. When you select this checkbox and run the flow, it is going to create a new work object with an ID, work object ID. In another terminology, we call work object is equal to case, work object ID is equal to case ID. This is clear, everyone, so far? Nothing much technical involved in this as of now. Let me go ahead and write down this. When we select this checkbox and run the flow, transaction gets initiated. Transaction processing is equal to what? Case processing. So when we run a flow, case processing gets initiated. Next again I will write on the same sentence. When we run a flow, a case gets created with a unique ID called case ID. Example C-123, let's say. So case is equal to work object, case ID is equal to work object ID. So again, when we run a flow, work object gets created with an ID called work object ID. So again, same example. Example C-123. This terminology you should have to get. while you are just saying something about this work orbit and all, this terminology you should get. Okay, so for that you need to read it multiple times. You have to speak PRPC in PRPC terminology only. Remember that. Okay, otherwise it will be there in your mind, but you cannot speak out. You cannot express it. So when we run a flow, a work orbit gets created and work orbit ID will be created. See now, when a work orbit is created, I am going to give the data right here. See now, the data we enter, the data which gets processed through the transaction will be held by work object. Will be held by work object. What is work object and all I'll tell you. As of now, you understand work object is something which is an entity that gets created in the background, which we cannot see with our eyes. Like object in CPP or Java, if you know, otherwise leave it. Work object is like a virtual entity that gets created in the background. When we run a flow, work object gets created in the background. So the transaction data will be held by work object and submit. It will get saved into the backend. I'll tell you where it will get saved. Okay, this is clear. So when we run a flow, the transaction data, so the data which gets processed through the transaction will be held by the work object. So now all the transaction data will be held by work object. See, work object travels through the flow from start shape to till end shape by invoking in between all flow shapes. It can be assignment or it can be anything, and holds all the data. All the data gets resolved when it reaches the end shape. Make sense, everyone? So work orbit will get created. Once we run the flow, work orbit will get created and work orbit will travel through the flow from start shape to till end shape, invoking all in between flow shapes, and it holds all the data that is flowing through the transaction. Everyone clear so far? What will happen when we run? So when we select the checkbox, creates a new work orbit, save the flow and run the flow, work orbit will be created in the background. Work orbit will travel through the flow from start shape to till end shape on its way of resolution. It can be resolved successfully or resolved unsuccessfully, whatever it is. Work orbit will have a unique identifier called work object ID. Work object holds all the data of the transaction with it. This is clear? Everyone clear? Now, next point I'm going to write and I'll tell you. See, work object after submit. After submit, work object and its data along with data gets stored into backend tables of PRPC database. What do we call PRPC database? Technically, what is the terminology that we use in order to call PRPC internal database, right? Where business rules will be available. What is that we call in Pega? Rule base. That is called rule base. We have discussed during the demo. So after you submit, work orbit along with its data will get stored into backend tables of PRPC internal database, that is called rule base. This is clear? In which table it will get stored? I'm not going to show you now opening it. Just let me name out and then I'll open. First let me name out. So work object data gets stored into PC underscore work table. This is clear, everyone? PC underscore work table. Let me save this and go back and see. See, what you have to do in the 2 days is, let me open the pgadmin environment. This when you install Pega, it has installed JDK, it has installed Tomcat server, it has installed pgadmin environment as well as SQL server. Everything is installed on your machine. You are not required to separately install anything. But only thing that you have to do is you have to make a connection to the installed database. Already database installed, right? You have to make a connection from this IDE. In order to do this, steps are documented and given to you. You need to exactly follow the steps. If you face any issue, error, just go ahead and give the screenshots in group. We will sort out. Okay. Now, it is not that hurry to implement it as of now. You can take your own time because of this. Because if you face any issues during the configuration of this DB connection, do not uninstall Pega. You just close everything and just stay back. We will discuss and then we will sort out the issue. So to do these connections and all, in order to open this environment, make the connection and all, there is a document already provided. If you go to my website, downloads is there, right? In the downloads, you have a document called DB configuration. There is a link. You have downloaded Pega software, right? Above that or below that somewhere, you see, if you look at the link, you'll understand. Click on the link, it will download the Word document. Read the document once or twice. It will not take more than 5 minutes to configure it. This is clear, everyone? So you should be able to configure if you follow every instruction in the document. Everyone clear with this? Now, after you configure and everything is done, how to navigate through the tables and all is given screenshots. Let me go. Databases, Postgres, schemas. For your information, I'm showing all this. As of now, it is not required. Just go ahead and take your time and do implement it. Because you have time of 2 days, you can do it. Now here you go. What is the table name I told? PC underscore work. This is the table where work object gets stored generally. Work objects get stored into PC underscore work table. That's it. Generally, you have to say that. Suppose in interview, if they ask you, where does work object get stored? PC underscore work table. That is the name you have to mention. So, but really, it will not store here. What are the work object IDs so far I have created? C-43, 44, 45, something I have created, right? Does this table has any data? But this is the table that you have to give answer in your interviews. But for every application when you create, tables will also get created. Other than this, it will use another table, which is similar. But why I am mentioning this table? Without mentioning, I can proceed. But in interview, they will expect the same name. Generally, PRPC saves its work objects in work table. That is called PC work table. Now, in our application, work objects are getting stored into PC underscore. What is that? S, right? It will start with S, right? PC underscore state form underscore. This is the table. View data top 100 rows. Let me write down. In our application, when we run the flow, work objects getting stored in table PC underscore STFM underscore state FM underscore work. It will end with work. This is the table. Is there anything that you understand from the table name? It's not application name. Which name? What is this one? Up to this, I'm sorry, hang on. This is how it is. This is what? Now tell me. Framework class. So exactly, if you look at the table name in the back end, whatever the framework class that you have, same name table has with a prefix of PC underscore, where hyphens have become underscores in case of table names. So this looks like similar to framework class group name, correct? Just for your information. This looks similar to, so you can go back and easily identify the table name. Identify. Now let me show you the data. If you go to view top 100 rows, these are the work objects which we have created so far since yesterday, maybe, or since today. C-36, 37, 38, 39. These many times I have executed. So these are the, you can understand this column. Look at this column. Not this column. I will show you another column also will have same data. I'll talk about this column later. This is the column you need to bother about. The above column, PYID, that is the name of the column. If you see, name of the column is PYID is holding work object IDs. Is holding work object IDs for your information. In this table, one of the column. Where is the data? What is the data that we have for these work objects? See, a number of work object you create a number of rows. Means one row is equal to one work object. In this table, each row corresponds to one work object. Okay, let me write down that. In this table, one row corresponds to one work object. This is clear, everyone? Just I am giving you information, nothing much technical. Where is the data of first name, last name, age, gender, state, city, zip code? Generally, do you have here? Anywhere you see that? First name, last name, and all. It is available? No, it's not like a normal table. See, but your first name, last name, age, gender, state, city, zip code, everything got stored into this table in a column called PZ PV stream. This is the column name. Look at here. Okay, so this is the name of the column. The last column, what you see? The last column, what we see is PZ PV stream, which stores the transaction. I call it as work object data. Data in blob, binary, large objects. In which format it will store the data? So your work object data will get stored into work table. You generally call the table where work object gets stored is work table. Okay, work objects will get stored into work table. The data will be, the ID will be available in PYID column. Data will be available in PZ PV stream column. In which format? In binary large objects format, for the purpose of compressing the data and security. So if you write a normal query, you cannot retrieve the transaction data. See, what is the advantage that you have seen? This kind of, once you submit the work object, all the data is getting stored in the backend, right? Compared to other technologies, what is the advantage you find here? Compared to other technologies, what is the advantage you have found? Online resources. What is the advantage you have identified here? During the things which we have done, from the moment you submit, it stores into backend tables and all. What is the advantage over other technologies? Any technology you find here?
We no need to create the
no need to write any query. One thing. Did we create any table? Did we define any columns? Did we write any queries? Did we define the format of the data? Did we secure it on our own? It has been automatically secured. So you're not required to create tables. It has automatically been created when you create a new application. So this table, this work object table has been created. When it has been created? When we create new application. When we create new application, framework application. That time itself it has been automatically created. No need to create the table. No need to write the queries. No need to pass the data from technical Java to database. No need to transform the queries. It's not only preparation of query. Generally, suppose you are doing it in C language, Java, or anything, you need to prepare ADO.NET queries or JDBC queries, something, and then transform that into SQL format, pass the values and all, it will get stored. Generally, that will happen, any technology. So you're not required to create tables, you're not required to write the queries, you're not required to transform the queries, you're not required to store on yourself into any of the tables. It will be automatically doing all this. This is called development automation. Pega provides development automation. Apart from UI logic, it is also doing query generating the queries and all. So in order to hit the queries from application environment, you need a business logic. Did we write any business logic like that? So this is called automation of development. You can see the database what we are using here PGSQL, right? But when you join an organization, it can be any database. But which database you will proceed with is depends on your client and their expertise team. Suppose I am the client, I am buying Pega license. I have an expertise team of SQL developers. I will tell Pega, I want to buy SQL database. I will buy it, not from Pega system, some other vendor. Now the tables, predefined tables and DDLs related to predefined tables and data will be provided by Pega systems. You need to load that DDLs in order to make sure Pega will run. There are a number of tables. This is not the only table which we have seen. How many tables are there? Many tables and many table data is there. You remember when you are installing Pega, it is showing table is created, data is loading 2350 rows, 3000 rows, 4000 rows, something like that. Every time it is completing one table and loading the data and all. So that and all again we have to do separately. In real time, you install database separately, application server separately. DDLs you have to run on the database which you have installed. You need to make the JNDA connections. This and all is not our work. It is the work of middleware teams. JDBC connections. But you are not required to bother about all these technical terms. As of now, it is not important. What we need to bother about is we are not required to create tables. We are not required to create the queries. We are not required to hit the database connections and all, no need as of now. This is development automation. Automatically queries are generated, queries business logic is implemented, queries are transformed, data is getting stored into table in a secure format, compressed format of binary large objects, blob format. See, when we are saving the data, the question is how much size it can hold. For a database column size, do you know about database column size generally? What is the database column size? See, మీరు ఏ టెక్నాలజీలోనే వర్క్ చేయండి, మీకు ఇవన్నీ బేసిక్గా తెలిసి ఉండాలి. What is the database column size when you are storing the data?
32767 maximum size.
బీటెక్ చదివినా తెలిసి ఉండాలి మీకు, మీరేం వర్క్ చేసి ఉండక్కర్లా. If you are there with database basics when you learn from someone, this is the first point they will tell you after you create. What is that someone is saying online? If any length of data you can insert into database column, then what is the length?
Oh, yeah. We are specifying the size, right?
I did not specify any size, man. I didn't specify. Then what is the size?
Maximum is 32767.
Oh my god. I remember it is 256. 255 means total 256. I remember. If that is exceeding, so what? How would you manage? Have you ever seen in any applications there will be some lengthy characters that will be storing which is like exceeding the length? You need to go to blob, clob like this. Then store inside this in a binary format, retrieve this and change it into normal format. Like this you have to proceed to do. That is what Pega following. While you are saving the transaction data, if they come up with predefined things, they don't know how large data you are going to save. That is why it is called binary large objects. Clob means large objects. Okay, C I don't know, I don't remember. So binary large objects, something like blob format, clob format, like this, and different formats database will support. This is to support compressed format of the data when it is exceeding the length actually. That's how the data should be stored. Okay, that's why Pega is following binary large objects format. It is also secure. You write a normal query on the column, you cannot retrieve the data inside. It will again retrieve in blob format only. Someone come hack your database, write an SQL query on PWP stream. It will not get inside data. It will again give him binary format. Again, it is secure. Okay, this is clear, everyone. So like this, your PRPC is going to store work objects and data in format of blob. Your transaction data is now secure. Yeah, this column is unique. We will see more about other tables later. Now, before this, I have a question which we have discussed during the demo. I told you I'll ask you that time. So the format what you see here, data format what you see here in the form is user readable format. This is users can only understand this. They go to database, they cannot understand. User readable format, database is blob format. In between there is some other format which I have told you already. What is the format? The input that you provide to the system, the output that you get out of the PRPC system will be converted into some other format. What is that format? XML format. This is what I have told you, right? So user readable format it will convert to XML, XML it will convert to blob and then store. This is what we have discussed during demo. That time I told you there is another format which we will discuss later. That is what the format now in the database called blob. This is clear, everyone? Security, free structured programming. Okay. So now, whenever we create any work object, whenever we run any flow, a work object gets created. All the transaction data will be held by work object. This work object gets stored into a table called work table. All the data will get stored into blob column. Work object ID will get stored into PYID column. So the blob column is called name is pget preview string. This is the information which you should remember forever. This all is just the statements that you have learned so far, which I have shown you actually. So first thing what you have to do is you have to complete this exercise, enter the data and submit, keep quiet. And then go to website document, configure the database, any issues hold on. No need to be worried, no need to be hurry as well. Okay, this is clear everyone. Check in the group, we'll sort out the issues. Once you are done with that, then you go through the navigation, right click view 100 rows, see your work objects are there, blob is there, just to identify what is there, see what is there. You're not required to understand much about it. So far everyone clear? In continuation to the work object, we are going to work on Monday. Still there is a lot more things to discuss about. How this is flowing there and all. So let me draw a diagram here and show you before we wind up. See, this is PRPC environment and this is database table, right? This diagram will be modified 2 times going forward later. Okay. So now this is PRPC. Let me this is PRPC application where you have work object, let's say C-123. It has first name. What is it? And it has last name like this and number. Okay, like this it has a lot of data. So once you submit, what is happening? On submit, this is rule based table. What is the table name? Can you tell me? Generic name? PC underscore work. So you submit it. Once you submit, so it is getting stored into only 2 columns. I am going to draw now. What 2 columns can you guess and tell me? PYID, PZ, PV stream. One column is PYID, another column is PZ, PV stream. It makes more sense to you. C-123. The data here is in which format? Blob format of data. Blob format of data is getting stored into the PV stream. This makes sense, everyone? This is what we have discussed so far.